Hey, one awesome community. We're on episode 337. Thanks for being here and listening. Today, I want to talk about lots of things that bear repeating. You've been to different events where the speaker will say, that bears repeating. There's a lot of stuff we need to repeat over and over again before we actually get the message. I'm being one of those people. But my first rant on this is one that I've experienced many times over, and it definitely bears repeating. So, I love it when I have conversations with people. That's what I do. I love connecting. I love networking. But what I don't love is after I've had a great conversation that's gone on for a while, and I walk into the bathroom, and guess what? I have these beautiful lipstick marks all over my teeth. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I don't show up sloppy. You don't see me in tennis shoes or sweats out there. You don't see me without makeup. I am a very vain person, and trust me, I really don't walk out of the house thinking this looks so cool having lipstick on my teeth. This is not the trend I'm trying to set. Although a few years ago I thought I might because it was so prevalent. So here's my request to anyone that shares a conversation with me in person or even on a Zoom call. If you see bright pink on my teeth, it's not my idea of fun stuff. So please tell me. Please simply say, like this, or you get lipstick on your teeth. I've had strangers tell me that. But it mortifies me when my friends will have a conversation with me. Let me turn around and have a conversation with someone else, and never once alert me to this fact. So please, women would rather be told than have that ignored. Just like having broccoli in your teeth, or spit on your face, or a booger hanging out of your nose. Come on, people. If that's not their attire normally, don't you think it would be nice to say, hey, just want to let you know, I do this all the time because I know how much I appreciate it. So I just had to get that one off my chest, can you tell? The other thing that I truly believe bears repeating a lot is our manners when we're out on that highway, when we're driving. People in general have gotten ruder and ruder behind the wheel. Our world is just in chaos. We all know this. But remember, when you are out there driving, that is a hunk of metal killing machine. It truly is. So in inclement weather, it's not drive as normal. Put a lot more distance between your cars so you have a lot more stopping power. I can't tell you how many times I've been rear-ended on ice because somebody didn't think it was necessary to slow down, especially when the guy comes up and over a hill that he cannot envision what's at the bottom of that hill. Guess what? It was a huge backup of traffic. And he comes up over the hill, and bam, I saw him coming. Nothing much I could do except I'd left like 6 car lengths between me and the car in front of me because I kept thinking, somebody comes over that hill and can't stop, in we go. I was able to avert that. The car wasn't hurt. My daughter and I weren't hurt, whatever. I'm here today. Anyway, that's one thing that is extremely important when you live in places that have winter and ice and snow. For those that have the luxury of not having to deal with that, you have other things to deal with. I can't address that because that's not where I live. The other thing that is really an awesome thing to do is I take a highway here quite often in my travels rather than jump on the highway, simply because it's a straight shot a lot of times to where I'm going, but it's also only like 40 miles an hour, and there's stoplights and there's stop signs, and it's just a more leisurely route to where I'm going. And on this route, you will have these stoplights, and usually next to them is like a restaurant, like a McDonald's, or there might be an office space going on there, whatever. I love to stop before I get to that entrance or exit. And when I stop, in my lane, somebody else sees me stop, and they stop. Because guess what? We're at a stoplight. We can't go anywhere. So what kind of effort does it take to stop in front of that before you get to it so that people can pull out? If you got a hot, McDonald's package in, in your bag, and you got little ones in the back seat and you guys want to get home, I feel so good when I'm able to make that happen because I stopped, which had somebody else stopped. And they get to go out earlier than sitting there and waiting and waiting and wait. We've all been there. We've all sat and waited for minutes to get out into traffic because nobody's kind enough to stop and say, hey, come on out. I love doing that. It will give you a special joy in your heart if you even just do it once in a while. I try to do it as often as I'm out there because I know it makes a difference for me. And of course, everything I tell you on this show is all from my perspective, so you can say, oh, Gail, you're full of crap. I get that, and I'm okay with that. The other thing, I'm a connector. I love to connect. I love to network. I love to visit with people, learn about them. And that's one of the things that I think is really important for people to understand is that when you're out there connecting, it is about the person in front of you. It's not about you. And so you ask a lot of questions to find out what they're about, find out what their interests are. I can't tell you how many wonderful friends I have just because of that very first conversation where I dug in and I asked questions and then we had a common thread and then we just clicked. But the one thing I did not do was walk up and say, here's my business card, here you go. No. The best part of networking is meeting that connection. And when you have those words in that conversation and you want to reconnect with that person, you ask for that business card. But my perspective again, you never, ever shove your business card in their hand unless they ask for it. Because if your conversation has been you asking all the questions and you asking for the business card and they've never, ever asked you a question, nor have they asked for your business card, guess what? They don't care and there's not been a real connection made. Even though you might think there is one, that usually to me signifies very quickly they have no interest in you. They're only interested in themselves. Saves you a lot of heartache if you can figure that out right from the get-go. So keep the business cards as much as they're nice and pretty and you want to hand them out in your pocket. And speaking about nice and pretty business cards, I've had many. And I oftentimes run them past someone for readability because I look at them like, oh, that's a really cool design. I really like that. And then I show somebody else and say, oh, that's pretty busy. I can't read it very well. That's always been my practice because here's the key about that business card. That's your billboard. That is what you've got to offer to the world. You need to be loud and you need to be proud about it. So, if you choose a very tiny, scripty font, and it's a light color and you put it on a light color card, guess what? You can't read it. I had to take my magnifying glass out yesterday to read the information on a business card I was given so I could send an email. And literally, I almost could not read it, even with a magnifying glass, and I have 20/20 vision. So when you're creating that card, you want the very specific things that are going to allow someone to contact you. You need your email address. If you have a retail shop or you have an office and you want people to come to you, you want your actual physical address on there. You want your phone number on there. And if you're a cell phone person, that's the only phone you carry, put on their cell. That way they know they can also text you. Don't text people who doesn't say cell on it because guess what? It's landline message to, you've had that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's very, very important. Make the card impressive. If you're a graphic designer, just knock it out of the ballpark with making that a pretty awesome card. I mean, business cards impress me and they distress me. because I know that you're proud of handing me that business card, but if I cannot read it, it is totally worthless. You spent your money for nothing. So if you have a business card that you're proud of, and you've never asked someone else if it's readable, you might try that. Just say, hey, what do you think of this business card? Because it doesn't cost a whole lot to remanufacture a business card. I have thrown out boxes of business cards when someone says to me, Gail, that's, can't, it's too busy, because I try to pack stuff on the front, try to pack stuff on the back. It's not necessary. I do put my picture on the front of mine because here's my belief, is that if I hand somebody my card with my picture on it, and they see me down the road, they may not remember my name, but they'll remember my face. I'm very good at remembering faces. I'm really, really not so good remembering names. So it's very helpful to me if I receive someone's business card, especially if I'm going to go meet them. I got that card. Of course, I can find them on LinkedIn and Facebook. But you know what? It's that business card they've handed me that is the personal touch that I want to carry through. Because in business, no matter how you slice it, no matter what business you're in, whether you work from home, whether you work out in an office, whether you're retail, doesn't matter. We're all in relationship marketing. And when you're a kind person, you let somebody into traffic. And when you tell somebody they got broccoli in their teeth, or they got lipstick on their teeth, or you ask somebody for their business cards, you are caring about other people. You are being kind in nature, and that will draw the same type of people to you. This is a rough and tough world we live in right now, and every moment of kindness that you can put out there on your own, you are helping make a difference in this world. You know, I've got a lot of other things that bear repeating. I bear repeating the thank you that's so important, that so many people never say. You know, people used to teach their children, the first thing was to say thank you and you're welcome. And then you come across a 12-year-old that opens Christmas gifts and never says thank you, and you're like scratching your head. I don't get that. And you ask the parent, well, I never taught them that. That's beyond my comprehension. To me, gratitude should be one of the first things that we practice and that we teach. I call myself a gratitude pusher because I am one. But it just warms my heart when that little 2-year-old toddler says, thank you, or welcome. Those are important gifts that we give people we love. So don't forget those little things that turn out to be bigger things. Because when you get in business and you say thank you, you're doing the same thing. You're enforcing that feeling of gratitude. And I appreciate you, appreciate your business, appreciate you being in my life. I've told you over and over and again, I do a gratitude journal every night. Have for a bazillion years. And it makes me think of something specific. I do 5 things, something very specific that I've done this day in gratitude. What am I grateful for today? And it varies every day. And sometimes it can be something as simple, I'm so grateful for the sunshine today, especially when it had 18 degrees yesterday. I am so grateful for the sun. So those are my little things that need repeating in my belief. And now what I believe needs repeating is, if you want to know more about me and how I am the gratitude pusher, you want to go to oneawesomecommunity.com. And there's a little video on there of my little 2-year-old neighbor opening up this Valentine card that I created for him. And that tells you right there exactly why I've been doing this business as a Hey Card Lady for almost 15 years. And with that said, there's one other thing I always ask you to do, and that's simply pass on a smile. That's something everybody can do. And when you do that, and that person catches your eye, you have definitely touched someone's life that day, and they will be forever grateful from that moment for the rest of that day. They may not remember it the next day, but they'll remember you. So take care, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.